Nope, game goes on. Lakers up 2, second quarter. LeBron. Ooh, little off-balance thing that goes. Lakers up 4. Jokic wants to get ball, hands it off, gets it back, put one in the air. He can do it inside or outside. Nuggets down 1 here. Jokic working, crashing through people, bucket. Nuggets take the lead. All right, a few minutes later, not good for the Lakers here. Anthony Davis driving, he's fouled, and then you see he's in some pain over there. Grabs his lower right leg. Might have re-aggravated some tendonitis in his right Achilles somewhere in the play. MRI scheduled for him on Monday. He did not return. Minute and a half to go in the half. Nuggets up 5. The give and go. Jokic, Murray, floater, good. Under 40 ticks to play in the half. Nuggets up 11. Murray, gonna light one from out there. Nuggets go on the run without Davis on the floor. Late going in the half. Nuggets up 12. Jokic the inbound. Right over LeBron. Time winding down. LeBron wants some. LeBron, Elizabeth, I'm coming! To the rack. Explosive dunk. 2 superstars going end to end. 19 for LeBron, 23 for Jokic. Nuggets lead by 12 at the break. All right, Nuggets up 9, third quarter. Jokic, Zeke Naji, 3 is good. Jokic distributing. Now he's going to Venmo to Murray. He'll hit a 3. Nuggets are out by 14. Late third, Nuggets up by 17. Murray coming, got all fancy, and it is a runoff. Game 2 of our Valentine's doubleheader. Nuggets end the Lakers win streak. They win it 1.
Hey LeBron, AD just mentioned us that it seemed like everything looked good, but they want to get the MRI obviously to make sure that it's not more than the strain. What are your thoughts on AD and the kind of implications for you guys?
For me, all I care about is health. I want him to be healthy. Our team needs him to be healthy, and he got to make sure that he takes all the all the precautionary reasons, all the everything, do his due diligence on what he's going on with his injury, and and be right when he comes back. So no rush, no timetable. We have no idea from that aspect, but we just want him to be healthy and get back to full strength.
And with that acknowledged, it's obviously the most important short-term, LeBron. What are the things that you guys do need to do as a collective when he's not on the floor for help with line matches?
Well, I mean, obviously it's a tough blow, because he was playing so well up until the injury tonight, and he goes out of the game for the rest of the game. It's kind of hard to pick up that production. So, but we will have an ability to be able to prepare for it now, with him possibly probably being out, and coming up in Minnesota, and we'll have a better game plan of what we need to do offensively and defensively in his absence.
Warren, please.
Hey, LeBron. Yeah, in the moments after he left the game, you were still on the floor. I think there was a free throw on the other end, and on TV it looked like you were still kind of watching him leave the floor and head back to the locker room on that kind of slow shuffle. What was going through your mind in that moment as you were watching him struggle just to get to the locker room and then also try to keep your mind on the game and focus on what was happening on the floor?
Just the overall safety and health of him. That's my only concern. Watch him shuffle off the floor and get back into the locker room, and obviously, we were doing playing some great basketball up until the end. We connected on a lot of our 1-2 plays and built up a little lead. But obviously, with his injury, just all I care about is his health, and want him to get back to himself, and that's what it's about.
Okay, David Denman, please.
LeBron, these NBA seasons are really long and things are going to happen as a contact sport. How can a group adopt the next man up mentality? And I don't know if this particular group has necessarily had to do it yet because it's been relatively healthy in that area. How do you move forward to try to get some productivity out of an unfortunate situation?
We will, and it's always next man up. No matter who's out, we're not asking anybody to pick up what AD does. You can't do that. It's impossible. He's a special player and a special talent for a reason. So, everyone individually has to pick up their play for the collective of the team. In AD's absence. So we look forward to that challenge.
Okay, Kyle Goon, please.
So, Brian,
Maybe we just talk to us about how, he was dealing with the injury bug and trying to play through injuries early in his career, and that's a certain kind of pressure. And then he's also been dealing with some of this pain for a couple weeks now, it sounds like. As a star player, how tricky is it to kind of balance that pressure to be like, hey, I need to be there for my team, I need to carry this load, versus, hey, if there's something that I can come back from and need rest, I need to take that?
I don't know if that's a great question for me, because I think it all falls down into, what type of injury you're dealing with, how severe it is or how severe it can be if you continue to play on it, everybody is different. Everybody is different in how they react to certain injuries or how they react to certain things that they're dealing with on a day-to-day, weekly basis is different. And I think, AD should be smart about it. I think everyone knows that, he saw him limping a little bit tonight and, had to leave the game. So it's much more, painful than it was at the start of the game for him. So, but everybody's different, and but he has to take care of himself in order for it to be the best for him and in order for us to be the best for our team.
Okay, just a couple more here, LeBron. Dan Wojcicki, please.
Hey, LeBron. Two quick questions, I guess. One, you said that kind of, AD was starting to look like himself a little bit tonight, and obviously in most of the Memphis game too. How tough do you think it's been for him this year, just kind of being in and out of the lineup to look like the player that we all know he can be? And then I guess, secondly, where does the confidence in your team come from that you can say to him, take as much time as you need?
One, obviously, he's been, dealing with some lingering injuries since the start of the season, and finally started to get his rhythm. And as we've seen in the last game and a half, Memphis, after the first quarter, and then, tonight it was, playing extremely good basketball up until the, until the re-aggravation of the injury. For me, as a leader of the team, whoever suits up, who's ever in the lineup, we still got to go out and play championship basketball. It's next man up, and like I said before, we look forward to that challenge.
Okay, and last question, Michael Gorsuch, please.
Hey, LeBron, quick two-part question. AD goes down, they go on that run, they start getting hot from three. Did it deflate you guys a little bit, seeing him do that? And then you haven't played in the altitude in Denver in over a year, so how were the legs and the lungs for you?
One, it's definitely deflating anytime you lose a big player. You're a big guy on your team who, the start of the game, we have a lot of things that's built in around AD and a lot of other players, and when he goes down, you have to switch up what you're doing offensively and defensively. So, obviously, that hurt us. Pretty much after the first 5 minutes, I was fine. I caught my second win.
Anthony, I wanted to ask you about the injury in the second quarter and how it felt at the time compared to the first time you did it, and then how you feel now.
Just driving, and I think that last step kind of re-aggravated, the injury I already had. Now I think they're saying it's like an Achilles sprain. Get an MRI tomorrow and then try to figure out the next steps of get back on the floor.
AD, as you mentioned, you're going to get the MRI tomorrow. Is there any additional concern in your own mind about the injury and what it could mean for you?
No. I think today was the first day where it felt completely fine. I didn't feel it at all this morning, afternoon, pregame, anything. I just felt like we was heading in the right direction, on the treatment side and the rehab side, and then, just another setback on it. But it's a part of the game. Just more so frustrating that not able to go out there and play. But you don't want to, like I said before, you don't want to mess around with this type of injury. So trying to figure out, the best steps after receiving information from the MRI tomorrow.
Dan Wojcicki, please.
Anthony, were they able to give you, just a couple quick questions, were they able to give you any kind of update as to the possible severity of it? Obviously the worst, in this case, is a tear. Were they able to tell you anything in their initial examination?
No, not really. I mean, you kind of learn a lot from the MRI, so kind of just waiting on that. You get to see more on that film. So just kind of waiting on that to see. Obviously, the doctors don't want to rule out anything and then it's something, or say it's something then it's not. But they said everything looked good, but you still want to get MRI just to make sure.
And because of the nature of this, and because now it's twice now, how much more cautious do you think you want to be with it and coming back?
I felt great coming back the first time against Memphis, and I'm gonna do the same thing, the same steps to get it back right. Obviously, be a little bit more smarter with it, which I think I was smart the first time, but even more smarter. Up the treatment more instead of 3 times a day, maybe 5 times a day, just trying to get it back where it needs to be to go out there and help the team. Like I said, all that will dictate on the information I receive tomorrow from the MRI to be able to move forward to get back on the floor.
Okay, Kyle Boone, please.
Hey, AD, I was just double checking something. I thought I heard you say, the initial my question, sprain, and Frank said strain.
Strain.
To make sure.
Yeah, strain.
Strain?
Yeah.
Okay. What are you, what sort of, are you wearing ice right now, or what are you outfitted with to kind of keep that area protected while you're leaving the arena tonight?
Yeah, I iced it already, and they kind of put like these heel lifts, if you say, in my shoe to kind of take a little bit of stress off the Achilles. That's kind of what I've been playing in as well, just adding some stuff. Excuse me, inside my shoe to kind of help out with that. And then at nighttime wearing, sleeves, and I don't know what it's called, but it keeps my Achilles flexed where, it's not shortening the Achilles.
Okay, we're just gonna do 2 last questions. Bill Oren, please.
AD, I know you said you feel like you guys were smart with this, but there was maybe room to be smarter. Is there any piece of your mind where you feel like maybe you shouldn't have come back from that and maybe just given it more time to rest and more heal?
No, I feel like I was ready to go. Training staff, I feel like I was ready to go. Did pick up the day before the Memphis game and felt fine. Woke up the next day, felt fine. So, I think we did all the right steps to come back. And, after the Memphis game, it, felt good. The next day, Saturday, it felt good. Yesterday, and all up today, it felt great. Felt great in the first quarter. Felt great for the time I was in for the second quarter until the last play. So, I think it just, the way I moved and stepped kind of just re-aggravated that injury. But I don't think I rushed to come back.
Okay, and last question, David Bennett, please.
First of all, when Kyle asked if you were wearing ice, you just said you were wearing it around your neck. What type of pressure you put on yourself to play through injuries? I remember talking to you after the finals, you were doing around talking, obviously, the finals, higher stakes. What's it like for you mentally trying to know your body and test your body's limits?
Yeah, something I kind of just been dealing with my whole career, just having that injury bug, and I kind of just overcame it last year, even my last couple years in New Orleans, just playing through injuries and knowing what my body can take, knowing what it can handle, and something minor, it's fine. I'll go out there and play, and like I said, I even felt like I was fine enough to go out there and play the other day against Memphis with the same injury. But this injury is a little different, because it is the Achilles, and you definitely want to make sure this doesn't lead to anything worse. So, but I'll put a lot of pressure on myself to go out there to play. If I feel like I can go out there and play, I will. Just for the simple fact I want to be able to help my team. And I can help my team from the sidelines, but I think I'm more effective when I'm on the floor. And they pay me to play. I go out there and try to compete at the highest level and do what I can to help this team. And so, that means me going out there and playing through some minor bumps and bruises, then, that's what it is. But, this one's a little different that I definitely have to be smart with. And don't want to go out there and try to be Superman and risk it for the long time. So, like I said, all that is inclusive on what the MRI shows tomorrow. Knock on wood, is great information. And
Tom Brady's already played 20 years in the NFL. LeBron's approaching it. I think he's at year 18. Max, what would LeBron have to do? We're always talking about LeBron and MJ. What does LeBron have to do to catch Tom Brady?
Yeah, before you can catch MJ, who's number one in any sport all time, catch Tom Brady. Right. Has he caught Tom Brady already or no? Because Tom Brady doesn't have a Michael Jordan in football that he had to pass by. I thought Tom Brady passed Joe Montana years ago. Like when he got to 5, he passed Joe Montana. Even when they were tied, I thought maybe Brady's got him. And so there's no, and Montana was the greatest ever in my opinion, but not Michael Jordan. So it's a harder thing to be considered the GOAT in basketball than it is in football, simply because there was never a Michael Jordan of football. The sport doesn't lend itself to one guy dominating that way, which is why what Brady's doing is so remarkable. I think LeBron has to have a flurry of winning, like a concentrated era of winning at the very end of his career, because that's really why Brady put so much distance between himself and the rest of football. When I thought he passed Montana, I thought that was as the greatest quarterback ever. But at this point, he's clearly the greatest player ever. And that's because since I made the Cliff prediction, that was 5 years. He's been to 4 Super Bowls and won 3. He'd never done that in his entire career until that point. Never. He played 15 years until that point. He went to 6 Super Bowls and won 4. And then in the next 5 years, he went to 4 and won 3. That's what makes him in a class by himself. Now, LeBron is in a position where he might do that. LeBron is on a team that's a powerhouse, in a market that's attractive to free agents, with a very competently run organization, with another superstar who may be just in his prime now, at his very absolute best now, in Anthony Davis. Yes, LeBron could do it. He got to L.A., he won 1. If he stays in L.A. for 3 or 4 years and does what Brady just did, which he might, then all of a sudden, LeBron is sitting on 7 or 8 chips. And he did it because of this incredible flurry of championships toward the very end of his career. And Perk, let me just say this. Football, many quarterbacks are great still in their late 30s. The reason I predicted the cliff, meaning not a decline, but a sudden fall off, is because Favre and Peyton Manning and others were like, oh my God, at 37, 38, they've never been better. And then all of a sudden they weren't good anymore. But in the NBA, that never happens. Because of the miles you run in the NBA, you don't see 37 and 38-year-old MVPs like you do frequently in the NFL. And so LeBron is much closer to being Brady already in terms of his age and what he's doing than people realize. For him to still be the best player in the game at his age is completely, and given the miles he's run in the NBA already, the minutes he's played, is completely unprecedented. But he's going to have to win some more chips to catch Brady.
Well, first of all, let me start off by saying this. I don't want to disrespect the GOAT of football and Tom Brady, because I believe he's the greatest football player ever. And what he did in this Super Bowl this past weekend, or this past season, going through, Drew Brees and Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers, just cemented that. But when you talk about comparing him and LeBron James, first of all, basketball and football is apples and oranges to me. Second of all, they have the code. They have the exact same code to the exact same penthouse. They both could get into the same penthouse using the same code. They are sitting at the same dinner table. And when you talk about LeBron James, a guy that had pressure, a guy that had so much on his shoulders since the age of 16, since the age of 18, when he was drafted in 2003, the expectations, the bar that was set. No knock on Tom Brady, but Tom Brady was drafted in the 6th round. It wasn't no expectations on Tom Brady. He wasn't set up to fail. LeBron James has exceeded expectations. You talk about pressure. And then, Max, when we talk about football and basketball, and I know Big Marcus Spears and Big Dan Orlowski and Ryan Clark and all the football minds, may feel some type of way
whole
about
crew.
this, but it's no discredit. Look, it's no discredit to winning a championship in football because it's hard to win a championship in any sport, okay? I'm going to make that clear. But when you talk about football, they have to win a max of 4 games. 4 games. Sometimes 3 when they get a first round bye. In basketball, you got to win 16 games. 4 games in basketball just get you through the first round. So right there is a separation. And when you talk about another thing, far as LeBron James, when he gets there, him and Brady both done got there 10 times apiece. Yes, Brady done won 7. LeBron James has won 5. So they both, it's not like they both 100%. But when they get there and they both win it, guess what? LeBron James finishes food on his plate, Max. And when I say that, meaning not only when he win it, does he win it, he wins the final MVP every single time that he's won a championship. Tom Brady has left food on his plate because he's won 7, but he's only won 5 of the MVPs, okay?
This is the thing about Brady, though, that's remarkable. I take what you say the other way. And by the way, the football guys say it's harder in football, basketball guys say it's harder in basketball, but I take it the other way. In a one-and-done tournament, you know, the fact that Brady's got 7 rings in one-and-done tournaments in a league that promotes parity unlike any other because there's a hard cap. The fact that, and he did it with Belichick the whole time, but then he switches teams and they do it right away. And you talked about the gauntlet of quarterbacks he had to run through. To me, that's more impressive. It means with the chips are always on the line. And you always have to come out on top. So Brady has that winner thing about him, the aura, in a different way than LeBron. LeBron had to learn that. LeBron, I don't count 07 with Cleveland. It's amazing he got them there. But in Miami, he had to learn how to do it. Brady had that winner thing where his team always seemed to win from the moment he hit the league, and that's what